All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Giving double honors to the apostle and elders of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and shalom to all the brothers out here laboring in this truth with sincerity, and shalom to the few sisters that watch. Saw this article. It was posted by the elder Yashawamba, and so I just looked it up and ran across this article. And it says Southern Baptists may vote to ban churches with women pastors. This is something that the Israelites, has been stressing, for forever, man. Women are not to teach, unless they're teaching their other women, or their children, within their household. Even with that being said, the man of the house, teaches the scriptures, and gives the understanding of the scriptures. But, this is something that the Hebrew Israelites has been stressing, man, for forever, So we'll go into the article, just a little bit. But it says America's largest Protestant denomination, the Southern Baptist Convention, could decide this week to ban congregations with women pastors during a 2-day convention in Indianapolis. But that's going off anyway, man. And I think the only reason that they're doing this is because the Israelites bringing it out, man. It hasn't been a problem up until now. And this is something that the understanding has been brought forth, by the Israelites, man. Let's see. It goes into the article, but this is what I wanted to focus on when I read it. Let's see. We'll start right here. It says, let's see. Historian and evangelical author Rick Renner, founder of Oklahoma-based Renner Ministries, says a deeper study about women remaining quiet in the churches revealed that the texts do not depict muting or shunning women, which is totally going off. Women are not to speak at all, in the church, man. Let's see what scripture he has up here. Oh, man. Clearly no understanding. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 3 and verse 28. It says, there is neither Jew nor Greek, neither slave nor free. There is no male and female, for you all are one in Yahushua Mashiach. Mashiach Yahushua. This man has no understanding of what that scripture really means, man. Matter of fact, let's jump up. It says, however, biblical scholars disagree on the Bible's teaching regarding the question of women's role in the church. So, are we to obey man or, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man? And always we're to obey Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's their thoughts. It says, however, biblical scholars disagree on the Bible's teaching. What? Regarding the question of women's role in the church. It says proponents of women's involvement in the pulpit point to another passage attributed to Paul as a counterpoint, and that scripture has absolutely nothing to do with women teaching, man. Hey, these people going off. It says historian and evangelical author Rick Renner, founder of the Oklahoma-based Renner Ministry, says a deeper study about women remaining quiet in the churches revealed that the texts do not depict muting or shunning women. So like let's get the text, because they're going off. All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14. So let's see. Let's see where the disconnect comes in. Because when you read it, it clearly tell you that women should not talk at all within the church. All right, this is the book of First Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 34. It says, let your women keep silence in the churches. Clearly, it says, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also said the law. So, nowhere in there does it say women have the obligation to talk and speak in the church. It says, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak. So I don't understand what's so hard about understanding that. It says, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also said the law. Verse 35, it says, and if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. What is this man talking about? What is this man talking about? It says, historian and evangelical author Rick Renner, founder of Oklahoma-based Renner Ministries, says a deeper study about women remaining quiet in the churches revealed that the text do not depict muting or shunning women. I don't understand what kind of understanding he got out of that, but clearly going on. It says instead he argues that up until the time of the writings in the New Testament, women were not allowed in public religious gatherings and were being taught how to conduct themselves in public for the first time after years of sexism. What is this man talking about? All throughout the scriptures, man, women are in subjection, when it comes to the scriptures as well as in the household. So what is this man talking about? It says, it was not about speechlessness. It was about women learning not to usurp authority by manipulating and dominating when serving under a pastor. First of all, women were not serving under pastors. It says, Renner said Paul wasn't against women speaking, teaching. He was against them wrongly using their positions, and he would have said the same thing to men. Okay, now he adding to the scriptures. Because nowhere in the scriptures does it say Paul wasn't against women speaking. So where is he coming up with this understanding, man? And you have people that fall for this, totally going off. Okay, now it says, Renner has highlighted powerful women in the book of Romans, including those who served in pastoral and deacon roles in the early church, indicating, according to him, that the early church was in support of women in leadership roles. Let's see if he named the women. It says the verses that the people have misconstrued that say that women are to keep silent in churches actually meant that women have great liberty, he said. This man is sick. But he never named the women that he's talking about. So this man is going off. And I didn't, get all involved into that. But, maybe I'll come back with a part two, to try to figure out what he's talking about. But let's go back to the scripture and go to the book of 1 Timothy. Chapter 2. If I'm not mistaken. All right, women instructed. Clearly, right here it says women instructed. Verse, it's 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, in like manner, also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. It says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man, but to be in silence. What is this man talking about? It says, for Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Matter of fact, let's try to get this in a different version and see what it says. Salakia. All right. Book of First Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9, it says, and I want women to be modest in their appearance. They should wear decent and appropriate clothing and not draw attention to themselves by the way they fix their hair or by wearing gold or pearls or expensive clothes. For women who claim to be devoted to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua should make themselves attractive by the good things they do. Women should learn quietly and submissively. I do not let women teach men or have authority over them. Let them listen quietly. So clearly this man is coming up with his own understanding, not according to the scriptures, man. You know, I don't know how far this article goes, but well, we read, the gist of it. Yeah. So this man is going off, and they actually did post the scripture. It says in 2000, Southern Baptists amended the Baptist faith and message, the church's statement of doctrine, to state that while both men and women are gifted to service in the church, the office of pastor, elder, overseer is limited to men as qualified by Scripture. The scripture referenced in the article are the book of 1 Timothy, which includes the passage attributed to Apostle Paul, and that's what we just read. So I don't know what this man talking about. He going off. Totally going against the scripture. But what do you expect from a Christian, a Baptist Christian that don't understand the scriptures, man? They can read something as plain as day right in their face and still flip it, man. Totally going off. So that was just a quick lesson, man. I really didn't see this video, but let's see what they got to say on this video.
Good morning.
Okay, so Linda, I'm reading, this is the culmination of a debate lasting more than a year. Two churches, including yours, were removed from the SBC last year. How did we get to this point where the convention needed to step in? Is this just because you are a female pastor?
I'm not sure how we got to this point, since they adopted their Baptist faith and message over 20 years ago. And why now was the question we continued to ask last year, when we had always been adhering to the Baptist faith and message 1963, and it was okay until just in very recent years. I don't know what made it not okay anymore.
Okay, so Sarah, you say that the SBC's rules come directly from Scripture. Can you tell us specifically where it is? Is it in the Old Testament or the New Testament? And is there a chance that it could be left up to interpretation so that, it could have more of a modern feel to it?
Yeah, so 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 7 gives clear direction on who the office of pastor is for. The office and the authority belong to the men without question. And how we got here, before 2015, we didn't have a confessional requirement That year, the Messengers agreed that you had to subscribe to the Baptist Faith and Message. And then in 2019, the Standing Credentials Committee is created, meaning that all year long, they're taking recommendations for review.
Linda, how does that make you feel to hear that? You know, you obviously feel like you're called to the ministry, called to teach people about what Jesus did for them, dying on a cross for them. And, you know, how does that make you feel?
It really doesn't matter what I feel. What matters is what I know. And I know that Jesus called me to be a pastor and to pastor where I am right now. Some folks look at those verses in the context like we do, and we see room for women in ministry. We don't just take out a verse here and there, but we look at the scripture as a whole and see what God is telling us through that. And I absolutely know that I've been called, and I base that on the scripture of God's holy word. But I certainly respect people who think differently than we do. And I think we could have worked together, obviously.
And she didn't bring out a scripture to support nothing she said. You know, she talking about what she know, not what she feel, but what she knows. And the problem is, she don't worship Yahweh Shem Yahushua. She worship Jesus. So maybe Jesus did give her the leeway to be disobedient. But, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua gonna set the record straight. And more than likely this lady gonna be destroyed.
We don't have that chance now, but I think we could have worked together for centuries and centuries from now, continuing with the gospel.
Okay, Sarah, what would you say if you had a daughter? I have a daughter. What if your daughter said, I feel like I'm called to the ministry, not called to teach preschool at the church or, you know, do what have you? What if they felt like she was called to be a minister of the church? What would you say to your daughter?
So I actually do have a daughter, and I lovingly would just tell her, we can't allow our feelings and the culture to lead the church. God has called the church to lead the culture in biblical truth, and that is what the SBC desires to do.
Sarah, do you think that this is something that could make people not want to come and join the ministry, not just join the ministry, but join the church and be turned off by Christianity even as a whole?
So I think that that's a real intense question. There are several different denominations, and
Okay, that's enough of that, man. It's almost done anyway. But it seems like the only woman with some sense is the lady in the middle. The lady on the far right is totally going off, basing her decisions and off emotions, because clearly Yahweh Shem Yahushua has not called her to teach nobody, man. So, with that being said, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, and we want to constantly give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom.